everyone. My name is Yuula and I am an artist and filmmaker in Toronto. I am also an Israeli citizen. I left Israel 23 years ago and I've been living in Canada ever since. My Israeli passport. My Israeli ID. And army exemption card. I didn't serve in the army. Last week I submitted an application to renounce my Israeli citizenship in the consulate here in Toronto. It wasn't a decision I made lightly. I've been thinking about it for a long time. In fact, from the moment I learned about the real history of the place where I grew up, the history that wasn't taught to us in schools or even talked about while I was living there, until last week at the consulate, it's been a really long process. Yes, I did it in response to Israel's horrific assault on Gaza. But this isn't the first time that Israel is on Gaza. Why now? Why this moment? Because the amount of casualties has reached catastrophic proportions. Even though we're in a temporary ceasefire or pause or whatever you want to call it right now, seems like it's not going to end anytime soon. And even Israeli officials are saying that after the pause, they intend to keep bombing for 2 more months at least. Whether Israel realizes it or not, all of this death harms its own people as well. During my childhood in Israel, I lived through 2 major wars. One of them was the First Gulf War, 2 intifadas, 26 suicide bombings, one of which I witnessed myself. And my town that was located on the Lebanese border was bombed every other day throughout my entire childhood. And even though the rockets were either homemade or old and not very precise, even I know 2 people who died by a rocket fire in my hometown. I spent so much of my childhood going in and out of bomb shelters, wondering whether or not I should go to bomb shelter, taking back school days because the schools were closed due to the rocket fire. How many times I sat with my friends at the TV watching flares fell down around the forest. I learned how to put a gas tank on myself and my siblings. I was 10 and they were 7 and 6, just in case my parents weren't home. I participated in dozens of drills. I learned to differentiate between outgoing and incoming rocket fires, just so I could stand there in 2 more minutes. And throughout all of that, the messaging on the news and in newspapers and everywhere around us was that this is normal. This is because we're Jews and everyone around us wants to annihilate us. It feels like Israel is playing a game, even right now, the situation right now, using words like winning, trying to one-up the other side as much as possible, even though the context is thousands of dead civilians. Israeli soldiers make mocking TikTok videos on top of the ruins of Palestinian homes in Gaza. Why am I doing this now? Because more than ever, it's clear to me now that in Israel, peace is not the goal, and I don't know if it ever was. And when I think back on my childhood and all the times we spent running in and out of bomb shelter, all the times my parents would worry about us, all the time I spent worrying while putting on a brave face like we were encouraged to. I feel like it kind of stays with us as we don't tell people. And I'm not even talking about all the torture, abuse, and humiliation inflicted upon Palestinians in the West Bank and Gaza, or Palestinians with Israeli citizenship that Israel loves to use as some sort of proof that it's not an apartheid state. I'm talking about the way Israel treats its own people. So I think that living in a dangerous situation like we did right on the border would make us the focus of our state's resources and efforts to create peace in the region. But no, Israel is an entity that is built on hierarchies where a person's values and humanity are tied directly to their identity. And because of that, unwanted populations, so poor people, brown people, immigrants from countries that are not wealthy, are often placed in forgotten places along the border, where the government doesn't have to concern itself with them as much. In this kind of society where people are categorized and placed with an energy to us, are how people have to do their own while living there. I recognize more times than I'd like to remember. The real suppressed population, so the people that I grew up with, they're the ones that have the ability to sacrifice, dangle in front of them like a carrot, to illusion that one day we'll be doing it. This mostly expresses itself in how eager my neighbors, the kids that I grew up with, were to serve in the army because they thought that finally they would be accepted into society. And after a lifetime of what ends up happening is this important that they want jobs that are available to them now. And not only that, most of those kids with parents from Iraq, Yemen, Morocco, whose parents speak Arabic. These kids get sent to border guards, and they're the ones who engage with the Palestinian population. When I refused to engage with our community, she was treated with any sort of spiritual warning. I was living in a small town. I had no idea what I was doing. It was because I recognized the violent, macho energy that I remembered from the bullies of my childhood. I recognized it in this new system that I was